Hello, Silaholics, and welcome to SILaholics Anonymous. I am Shakia. If this is your first time here and you have never viewed any of my content, I do hope that you enjoy the contents of this video and will choose to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I release new content. If you are a subscriber, thank you for the support and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how I designed this memorial shirt. And it's a way to design a memorial shirt where you don't have to add any pictures to it. For me personally, I'm not a big fan of faces and things on memorial shirts. So I really do a lot of designs that are just creatively designed with text that still make a really big impact, and the client, really loves the way that they come out. All right, so we're going to jump into this. I'm going to start by showing you some of the different ways I kind of, thought about doing it. This particular design I did do a few years ago. This was, 2 years ago when my own cousin passed. And for everyone like within our family, I highlighted the title as far as like what, who they, like what he was to them. So for his kids, they had the word father. And it was in all caps, and everything else was just regular. Like for me, my brother, it was cousin. If it was one of the kids that he coached, coach was highlighted. If it was a friend. So, all depending on who got the shirt and what role he played in their life, it became the one that was more prominent. So I had this one, and then of course, like his real name was, within the design. I've done a couple of these. It's more so like my brother wanted a design, and I ended up using it for him. And then he asked about someone else that recently passed. So I ended up trying to figure out how to make it work because the name was a little bit longer than this one. So a couple of the different layouts, thoughts were to just do it with Stan the man and then all on one line and then his name at the bottom. As you can see here, I almost did it to where it was Stan and then the on the side and then man. But ultimately, I ended up going with this particular layout where it was Stan, the in the middle, man, and then his name on his first name on the top, last name, and then of course, because it's not spread out, that the title parts and the different roles that he played was at the top stacked, and then of course the date information at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to, I think all of these I've already, so we're going to click on here because I know that one's still in text mode, and flip that back around. And then we have this part which makes up the name and also, the titles. And also the birth, the years. I think it also makes up the real name as well. So I'm just going to reduplicate that a couple of times. And I'm going to copy those and start a new window and paste. Perfect. All right. Now, if you are, just starting this, for me, I already had most of this, so I didn't want to kind of have to look for the fonts again. But you would go to the A on your left-hand side, click on that, click in, and then you would begin to type. I'm going to actually type this out, and I'm just going to use my properties dropper to copy the font at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put man. That's one of the joys of having Designer Edition. Even though mine says business, it is a feature of Designer Edition. Business Edition is just a higher grade of the Designer Edition software. All right, but we're going to click on it. I'm going to click on my properties dropper and click on here. It's going to give me those words and what this text is. It gives me the colors, but we're going to change the colors later. If you don't already have it and you are just typing it out, you would come to the A on this side and you would choose your font that you want to use, okay? But I already have the font that I want. So again, I'm gonna hit I on my keyboard. Well, click on it, hit I on my keyboard, select this so that I get that text. Whenever I am designing, I like to keep the text, something in that text so that when I convert to path, there we go, I still know what the text is. So I'm just going to hold down Alt and click up and drag so that there's a copy of that. All right. Then I'm going to ungroup. I'm not worried about sizing or anything like that. For me personally, I did not like the kind of triangle on the A or the T, which for the T, I actually could have just, I forgot to do that. Let me kind of back up here. So for the T, the uppercase has that little notch in it. But if I double click and back up and use the lowercase, what is considered the lowercase T, it does not have that. This is an all caps font. It just has different features or different elements depending on if you're using shift or caps lock or not using caps lock and shift. All right, so we're going to ungroup. I'm going to double click on the A and I'm going to click here to add an edit point. I'm going to use a box to make sure that that edit point is lined up right where this is. So double click, which it wasn't. So we're going to click on just that one edit point and use my arrow key to get it over on top of that line. Then we're going to click on this edit point and choose delete point. That's it. And there's no sense in me trying to redo it for the one on the other side. So I'm just going to click on that A. I'm going to hold down Control or Command on a Mac, and I'm going to hit my arrow key to duplicate that to the right. Then I'm going to click on this one, just change the color so I know which one to delete. Hold down Shift, select that A, go over to the alignment tool and hit align to the right. Then send it to the back and delete this one. Easy as that. All right, now I'm going to put this on the bottom. Let's go ahead and group that. I'm going to line it up. And then I'm going to stretch it until it reaches the other side. Hold down Shift and just bring it down. I think on the original, I may have brought those in a little bit closer. Let's see. Yeah, they are a bit spread out, so we're going to bring it in just a little bit closer. So to do that, I'm going to hold down Shift and hit my arrow key like maybe 2 or 3 times. Select all of the letters and space evenly horizontally. Probably go in just maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit more. Your spacing will be different. It may not be the same. You may be okay with where it was before. All right, and same thing with this one. I'm going to, I'm going to bring this, no, let's do it that way, and ungroup. And we're going to hold down Shift so I can move faster, over, and space. Now I'm going to group and line it up. I use the keyboard shortcut for grouping, Control G, Command G on a Mac, but you can easily right click and choose group. You also have the icon at the top here, which is also to group. And then this one is to ungroup. We're going to come down. All right. And then I already had my the from before, so I'm just going to bring that up here. And with this one, because it is in text mode, I'm going to shrink it and we'll bring the letters close together using the character spacing in on the right hand side within the text style window. So we're going to bring that in and make it just a tad bit smaller. Select we'll take all of Stan, group it together, take these two, group it together. That way I can convert to path, select both elements, go over to align, and align center. Now that I have that there, we're going to put an offset on it. The size of the offset is totally up to you and the look that you are going for. All right, I'm going to hit apply. Then I'm going to hold down Shift, click on the stand man part, go over to modify and subtract. I don't really care for the little sliver of the T that's there, so I'm going to click off and delete that. Or probably, let's see, let's undo. I'm going to just move this probably over some, so it's not going to be quite, no, rather than move it over, let's make it maybe smaller. Okay, and then click here and subtract. All right, a little bit better. And now I'm going to group all of those elements together. Have that part set. Now I'm going to take this part here and we're going to do the first name, all caps, STA. I'm going to move in my bar a little bit closer. I'm going to then go back to the A and put a little bit of character spacing. Oh, should have left that out some. So let's pull that back out. Add a little bit of character spacing. Oh, I'm going to do actually both parts of his name. So, Middleton. So I can somewhat start off with the same amount of spacing, or to get the max spacing for the bottom one. Let's move just this one, bring it to the bottom, maybe make it just a little bit bigger for that one, and then ungroup. Group this one together, kind of position it at the bottom, and then with this one I want it to go all the way across. Now I can either just make it bigger to make the first name stand out and make it where it spans the length of Stanley or Stan, or I can maybe make it just a little bit bigger, take my Y, hold down Shift, click on the N, align to the right, then select everything that is here and space it horizontally, and then group it together. All right, that part's done. Now we're going to go ahead and just put this right here, and I'm going to make this one for just and then make a duplicate for the other side to make it smaller, which probably should have sized it first. So let's just make a duplicate of this one. To make a duplicate, I just hold down Alt, click, and drag. There's so many different ways that you can make duplicates. You can choose to right click and choose duplicate. You have the replicate function. You can copy and paste, copy, paste in front. So many different ways that you can do that. Okay. Now that I have that kind of where I want, of course, we'd have the actual date. I'm going to go ahead and convert to path. Click on the N, move it over to align it to the right, click on the 7, hold down Shift, click on the M, and align it to the left. Then, with everything that's here, we're going to align it to the middle and space evenly horizontally. There we go. And last but not least, we are going to type in the information at the top. Well, I mean, that's just, let's see. I don't remember all of them. Let's just go back over to this one. Oh, perfect. This is actually still in text mode. That is perfect. So to do this, it's just a matter of typing it out. Things too, so that you can just line it up. When you go to your text tool, instead of justifying it to the left, you're just going to align it to the center. You can choose how much character spacing you want in between. At 100, it is very, because this is impact, it's very close together. So I added just a little bit of space in between. Of course, you don't have to go with this number exactly. Once I just spread it out, I kind of stopped where I wanted it. If I want my lines to be closer together, I'm going to take, or more spread out, I'm going to take my line spacing and move it up or down. All right, I'm going to just take this and make it match from the edge of this to the edge of there. All right, and now you would choose the colors. If you're going to do this with sublimation, you do want to use color charts and put in an exact code for the color that you're wanting to use. I recommend that you print out your color charts on sublimation paper, whatever sublimation paper you use, and then sublimate it to some sort of polyester fabric. Sublimating it to felt is very convenient, but that way you know that you know exactly what the color is, and there are no surprises when you go to print it and press it. So if you're wanting to add colors to it and specific colors, for this part, I normally, like last time was black, I'm just going to choose a different color. We're going to go over to our paint palette, go over to advanced, come down to the hash mark, and on looking at your color chart, you would choose the color that you want to fill it with. So I'm going to go with a green color. Let's go with 117864. And then for the inside, let's say we are doing an orange, almost like doing what is it? University of Miami. So let's go with D as in Delta 35400. I could also look up the actual color codes for UM. This green might be a little bit too dark. Let's go with, for a UM color, let's go with 229954. And then you would, you can use these same colors for other elements. So let's say here and here, I use the orange, and the same way we did it with the text in the color, you can do that with just the orange as well, or just the color. So I'm gonna hit I on my keyboard to bring up my properties dropper, sample here in the orange, that becomes that color. I'm going to make these the green, and then this one we can either leave it at black, or let's just make it the gray like that. And we're ready to either cut from heat transfer vinyl or print and press using sublimation. Once you add colors to something, there is no limitation in what you can do with it. You can submit this to someone to print direct to garment. You can break this up to where you will be able to have it done in screen print. You can use Easy Subli. You can sublimate to glitter. You can sublimate to Forever Subliflex 202. You can, once you have the base design, you have a number of possibilities to actually get the design on a shirt. But hopefully this video helped you guys with, just get a little bit better understanding of how to use Silhouette Studio, how to design, just kind of a sneak peek into my head on how I make designs. I'm going to try to make this week a whole week on designing different things. So it won't always be shirts, but I'll show you how to just create designs within Silhouette Studio. If you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber, as well as the bell so that you're notified whenever I release the rest of this design series videos. Check out my other channel, Elite Prints and Creations with a K, for videos on how to sublimate, how to apply with heat transfer vinyl, and different things like that. You can also visit me on Facebook, SILaholics Anonymous. I go live over there daily with different helpful tips and live Q&As. And you can visit my website, shop.SilaholicsAnonymous.com, to find out about any upcoming classes I have and how to book a one-on-one session with me. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one.